Good morning, man. I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
I'm doing great, brother. Thanks so much for joining us. And what's it like returning back to New Orleans, a place where you won a Super Bowl and started your career?
You know, it's a good feeling, man. You know, I have a lot of good memories from my time in New Orleans. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the challenges ahead and doing my part to, you know, help this team out and hopefully we can do something special.
You know, it feels like the Saints offense has adjusted, pivoted since you were there last. It used to be throw the football all over the lot and let Drew Brees kind of carry the offense. Now, two-back system, Ingram and Kamara, and last year really much more balanced attack. What is that like, joining a team and an offense that probably feels a little bit different in the philosophy since you were last there?
Well, you know, when in 2009 when we won that Super Bowl, a lot of people don't really realize, but we were, you know, we were pretty balanced.
It's true.
Back then. But then, you know, as years passed, you know, we kind of got into the rhythm of throwing it a good bit. And, you know, when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback like that, you can put the ball in his hands. And as long as we do our job up front, you know, he can get the ball and spread it out so we're able to, you know, make the plays however needed. But when you look at the explosiveness the team had last year, you know, I was on the outside looking in, but I seen the splash that they made in the playoffs. I seen some of the, you know, some of the good plays they were doing throughout the year. So, you know, you got to be excited about that. You got to be excited about grinding and finding a way to get better and just adding to that, you know, because they got a lot of weapons. You know, Drew's still playing like he was 5-10 years ago. And then if, you know, these receivers can continue to do the job that they're doing and running backs can continue to keep hitting the holes like they're doing, I mean, you know, we can do something pretty special on the offensive side of the ball.
Jermon Bushrod, Saints offensive lineman, joining us this morning here on the DA Show. Drew Brees is still getting it done, as you said, and we saw that in the second half of that playoff game where you lose in Minnesota, but, boy, he was fantastic. And in the first game that he played against Carolina, was just lights out. What do you think is the secret? What do you think is the key for Brees still being so effective at this age?
His preparation, his focus, day in and day out. You see the guy, you know, he's the first one in the building. He's one of the last ones to leave. He takes care of his body, his health, his nutrition, his physical therapy. I'm sure he has a team of people around him to make sure that he's, you know, firing on all cylinders once game day comes around. But he approaches every day with the utmost focus that is needed, and you can see it on the practice field. You can see it when we're training, and that's how he can carry it over on Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, whatever day you got to end up playing.
The youth on the Saints that you're joining is exciting because you had Marshawn Lattimore, Alvin Kamara, a great rookie class, and they were on the cusp of going to the NFC Championship game outside of the Stephon Diggs Minneapolis Miracle. What's more exciting, joining your old team where you started or joining a team that's that close to being in the NFC title game?
Both of them are pretty exciting, but, you know, to get back and see some of the guys, well, it's funny, you know, it's only like 4 or 5 guys that are there when I was there last 5 years ago. So, you know, it's good to be back there. It's good to be back in the city, but then you see the youth that they have, like you were saying, you know, on the defensive side of the ball, they got some good DBs, man. I'm excited about just seeing how they practice, seeing how they work. You know, I saw the fun that they were having last year, and, you know, you can only have fun when you're winning games. So at the end of the day, that's something that, you know, every football player wants to be a part of. You know, you want to win games, you want to have fun, and you just want to grow. So I'm excited about, you know, seeing the growth of the young guys, but I'm also excited about being back in the city and reuniting with some of the people that I played with once before.
Jermon Bushrod joins a Saints offensive lineman. He's got a incredible event coming up, helping out his charity. It's the 8th annual charity golf tournament and 9th annual football camp, which we will talk about coming up here in mere moments. But I did want to ask you about last season playing with the Miami Dolphins. And, you know, you have Jay Cutler come into a situation where Ryan Tannehill goes down. And some said that Jay Cutler was not engaged. Some people said that he didn't really care at that point in his career. He was just kind of collecting a paycheck. You were in that huddle. Did you feel like Jay Cutler had command of the huddle or wanted to be there? What did you vibe out? Because you also had experience in Chicago.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that assessment of him. I mean, I see the work that Jay used to put in. The media at times can skew the perception of how people really are. But, you know, when you see a guy who in training camp, we used to get out of meetings at 10 o'clock in Chicago, right, in training camp. And, he's getting the receivers and the running backs to go to the gym. We have 11 o'clock curfew. He's getting the receivers and running backs and specialists to go to the gym to go over the routes for tomorrow, until 10:30, 10:40. So, you see the work that he puts in. He cares a lot about his team. He cares a lot about winning and things like that. It's just unfortunate that, that he couldn't deliver something higher, some kind of championship to Chicago or even last year. But at the end of the day, he was a good guy. He was a good dude to me. Since the first day I signed in Chicago, I heard from him. He has a great family. So it's just unfortunate the perception of Jay Cutler out there, but at the end of the day, he had a good career, and he's going to enjoy his family now.
Jermon Bushrod, Super Bowl champion, 11-year NFL veteran, 2-time Pro Bowler, back with the New Orleans Saints. You're a Virginia guy, and you've got this great event coming up in Virginia, in Locust Grove, Virginia, and you're hosting your 8th annual charity golf tournament, 9th annual youth football camp. And over the last 8 years, the Visualize and Rise Foundation has donated over $500,000, $500,000, which is amazing. Each event always sells out every year, and you guys are doing this once again. What's more exciting, to keep donating money to this great cause, to work with the kids at the youth football camp, to get out there with teammates and former teammates, playing up the golf course? What do you love most?
I'll be honest, man. The excitement of the kids when you're out there at that youth football camp, and you have, I had the opportunity to bring some of my teammates around, just to see the excitement on their face. You get to run around with them. You get to interact with them. That's something that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. But, a couple weeks ago, we had the, Visualize and Rise Scholarship Luncheon, and our golf tournament is the thing that funds our scholarship program. So the unique thing about that, we get to see how the financial impact we're having on a different group of students as they take the next leap into their education when they're going off to college. We're trying to take some of that financial burden off of them. That's why our golf tournament is so important to us, so important to the foundation, to the community, because we have been able to not just bless kids and families with the scholarships, we've been able to bless the YMCA with membership programs. We've been able to help out, the social services department around Virginia with Thanksgiving and Christmas, food and gifts and things like that. So we're trying to impact this. We're trying to have our impact on as many people as possible, because there's a lot of people out here who that have a need for that kind of stuff. So, we're just trying to do our part. My family, my friends, and the volunteers and everybody who's putting in all this work. I'm very appreciative of them, but my name and my face is on the foundation, but it is a great team of people that are, that deserve a lot of credit, a lot more credit than what I've done.
Information available at visualizeandrise.org. That's coming up on Friday, June the 8th, is the golf outing in Locust Grove in Virginia, and then the youth football camp at King George High, which is awesome because Jermon gets to go back and hang out with the kids at his old high school. That is Saturday, June the 9th. And so learn more at visualizeandrise.org, which is awesome. And it's free of charge for all kids ages 6 until 14. Jermon, good stuff, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck with your events coming up. Keep it going.